everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Reality Bites. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that your reality is going all according to plan. And if it's not, then maybe it is, even though you think it's not. That kind of reminds me of, before we jump into this episode, this whole idea that everything is happening for you, by you. And that another way of looking at it is that every experience, no matter how you label it, whether it's good or bad, whether you're suffering or you're going through a joyous moment, because we know that everything is in flux, everything changes, everything is impermanent. We know that there are peaks and valleys in life. But if we can kind of hold a space where, and an awareness, where in that space you realize that it's all happening for you, by you, and that it's all part of your curriculum, your personal soul evolution. And I think when you do that, when you really feel into that, it just offers a little bit of comfort, a little bit of respite of the programming, of the victim mentality, of the conditioned mind, because we can so easily get caught up in that trap of, well, it's all happening to me and the world's going to shit, and it spirals down from there. But if you can just break that paradigm and go, hang on a minute, what is this teaching me, this experience? Why did I create this experience? What can I learn? What wisdoms can I gain from that? So, speaking of experience and speaking of thoughts you create and speaking of intentions and manifesting and all that good stuff, welcome back to the second part, the series 2 of the 7 Hermetic Principles of Reality. So this is the special, well, I call it the special series of Reality Bites podcasts where I'm introducing these 7 Hermetic Principles to you, the audience, the listeners, in the hope. My hope and intention is that these series of podcasts where I introduce these Hermetic principles or laws even that govern the universe, that hopefully you become familiar with them and hopefully you can then have an awareness or notice when they show up in your reality, and then how you can best utilize and take advantage and therefore co-create, influence, manage your reality on some level in accordance to these universal laws. So in the last episode, I introduced you to the 7 Hermetic Principles. And the last one, well, the first one, of course, is the principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental, where we kind of, and remember, I'm just introducing these principles. I really encourage you to look deeper and do your own research. I'm merely just offering these principles as a little bit of a teaser, as a starter for your own inner exploration. But yeah, the universe is mental, so all is mind, the spirit, that divine sort of principle that there is a consciousness awareness, that the universe is consciousness, and we are consciousness. So that was the first principle. Now, the second principle is one I really like. One I've been fascinated about probably my whole life, and that is the principle of correspondence, which states from the Kybalion, as above, so below, as below, so above, or as within, so without. I've always loved that concept that you are the universe and the universe is you, and everything that you experience in your reality is merely a reflection of what you experience on the so-called outer reality. So I feel like this principle can be interpreted in a number of ways. Some might see it as, I think I mentioned in the last episode, that it was a little bit like the law of attraction or vibration. So whatever energy or vibration you're carrying is going to attract that to you, similar, like versus like. So as within, so without. So the Kybalion states that the principle of correspondence enables man to reason intelligently from the known to the unknown. It explains the many planes of existence, including those of lower and higher vibrational frequencies and how they're connected. That what we hold in our thoughts will manifest into reality, the inner world of formless through to form in the tangible world. That really does sound like the law of attraction. So, formless manifesting into form. Interesting. It also implies that we are a fractal nature and that the entire universe is expressing itself through us in all its dimensions. So I want to dive a little deeper into this whole manifesting thing, law of attraction, because we always want to manifest and create good things in our life. I would assert that most people want to be joyful, happy, prosperous, healthy, feeling worthy, feeling loved, and creating those dreams and desires that are in alignment and speak to you. So let's have a look at this manifesting thing, shall we? So in order to manifest something, first you have to have a thought or an idea. And then you've got to bridge that link between the idea and how to create that into the physical or tangible reality, have that experience. So first, I would assert that you need to expand your mind, your heart, and energetic field in order for you to expand energetically. So your physical world can then expand. It's like this intricate dance between our inner and outer world, as the law of correspondence states, as so within, so without. So going a little bit deeper, what we hold on an energetic level when you come from the principle that all is mind energy. So what you hold energetically within you and what you attune to and resonate with the so-called outside world, by the nature of correspondence, this is what you will attract back to you. In other words, the very thoughts you emit will correspond to the reality you want to create. And as creator beings, of course, we have the capability to intentionally create by the process of our thoughts, intention, and of course, taking the steps, the aligned action in the physical world. And coming back to this fascination of how we create our reality, you got to really just break it down to what are you intentionally doing habitually, moment by moment, day by day to create your reality. And then you've got to ask yourself, who or what is creating that? And you might go, well, I'm creating that. Well, who am I? And you go, where is this happening? And of course, it's happening in your awareness and consciousness, in the mind. The all is mind. So we're forming a little bit of a picture here, aren't we? So form, or the material, was once formless. So it was once nothing. So everything emanates from the no thing, from the void. When you think of space, when you think of spirit manifest, it was once formless, which came into form, into beingness. And I was pondering this and contemplating before jumping on here. Well, actually, I was doing it last night. And if I could, and I thought about this. I thought if I could distill one thing about manifesting, it's that you are that which you wish to attract. Say that again. You are that which you wish to attract. In other words, what you embody as a frequency, as a thought, as a vibration, as an energetic field, is that which will be reflected back to you from the field, the universe. Remember, you are the universe expressing itself in human form, or you are the field and the knower of the field. So simply put, you create more of what you are already. So, if you are habitually positive, joyful, optimistic, happy, if you emanate those qualities, those positive qualities, if you like, then you will create and attract more of these experiences by virtue of the people, places, and the things you experience. So it comes down to the beingness, which is its distinction between wanting something through lack or fear or desperation, right? So you are that. So you want to be that, what you want to attract. But if you are emitting a resonance or energetic field, or instilling or programming the field with frustration or lack or anger or bitterness, then that's what you will reflect back. Simple, right? So it reminds me of that saying, smile and the whole world smiles back at you. And this is the thing though, right? So if it's that simple, then why can it be so difficult? Well, that's another huge episode in itself. But I would say it's the ability to transcend the narrative and the programming and the conditioned mind, and to remind yourself that once again with presence that you are the field and you can create and influence the field. So the key difference is that you are already that what you want to be, rather than, and I think this is pivotal, rather than if I can only just attract that loving partner, then I will be happy. When I get that dream home or whatever, then I will be content. When I leave that job, then I'll have less stress, etc., etc. So it's no if, maybe, when. It's embodying that which you want in the present now, so that it's coming from a place of empowerment. It's coming from a place of centeredness and beingness, and knowing that you are the field rather than from a place of lack, desperation, fear. And fear is a huge one in this day and age, right? We are bombarded with the fear program, which keeps us in a state of fear, anxiousness, depression, lower frequencies. And so that's what you are going to carry and imprint into the universe, into the field. So if there's one takeaway, it's getting in touch with who you really are from that level, from that energetic level, from that soul deep, deep level of who the F you really are. You can tell I'm getting passionate about this. So the missing link is you already are that which you want more of, but you got to think about what you are. And as I say, to reaffirm and reinforce this, that if you're coming from a place of lack or desperation or fear, then that's what the universal field is going to pick up. And I would assert that more experiences to mirror back, more experiences in whatever form it takes will show up in your reality, in your field. And remember that because the universal field, there is infinite abundance. There is no lack, and therefore, by correspondence, because you are the knower of the field, and the field, then that's the way you must act accordingly. Let me just repeat that. There is no lack, right? And therefore, by correspondence, because you are the field and the knower of the field, then you attract more of that infinite abundance. And it reminds me of a verse in the Bible, actually, which I've known for many, many years. I'm not by any way, shape, or form I don't know the Bible at all, but there are obviously some great pieces of wisdom and quotes that I've come across through my life's journey. And one of them is this from Matthew 25:29. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who has not, even what he has will be taken away. Now let that sink in. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have abundance. Now that's freaking heck, that's the law of correspondence if I ever saw it. So, as I said in the first episode of this series, you're going to find these principles in other pieces of work and literature and esoteric teachings and wisdom traditions all over the place. It's just that these Hermetic principles are very succinct and simple. So I think that's a good place to leave it and a good way to wrap up this episode. So the law or the principle of correspondence, as above, so below, as below, so above. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Reality Bites, and I really hope you can join me for the next series of the Reality Bites Hermetic Principles of Reality, and that is we're going to cover the principle of vibration. So the principle of vibration will be coming up next. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and hope you have an incredible and wonderful day.